everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We have the star of the upcoming "'Twas the Day Before Christmas. And of course, the Santa Summit. We have Amy Groening here. And Amy, thank you so much for coming on talk with us.
Thank you for having me, Rachel. I'm so grateful to be here. This is a big podcast. You've been doing this a while. I feel very honored to be in the club. Thank you.
We have been doing this this is our 8th season that we're covering.
Kidding me?
8th Christmas, yeah.
That's a lot of Christmases.
Which for a podcast is extremely rare. But
yeah,
there's very few that are 8 years old.
Well, I applaud you. You're clearly doing many things right. So well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
This is your first time on the podcast. So we like to give our guests an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what inspired you to first get into acting.
Okay. Well, my name is Amy Groening, as you said, and excellent pronunciation as well. We chatted about that before. How did I get into acting? I was a dancer growing up, so I didn't have a lot of time to do other kind of time-consuming extracurriculars, but I had dabbled in high school and junior high, but nothing big. So in university, I took intro to acting during my first year, and just to kind of test it out. And a couple classes in, the professor pulled me aside and asked me if I wanted to do a mentorship with her, because I guess she saw something in me, which meant a lot to me because I was just brand new. I had no idea what I was doing. And for someone to kind of take an interest in you, and it meant a lot. It made me feel like I was in the right place. And then that same course, the teacher's assistant also pulled me aside and asked me if I wanted to be in a short film he was making. He was a filmmaker at the same university. And so it just felt very kismet. A lot of things lined up. There was a lot of people giving me cues that I was, meant to be following this a little bit more. And so, yeah, from there, I started making some short films with these filmmakers. I did this really wacky grindhouse horror movie called Father's Day that was like incredibly low budget. That was my very beginning in film. I don't know if that's for the Hallmark
audience. Was that a short
audience
or a feature?
Yeah.
Was that a short or a feature?
It was a feature.
Oh, okay.
It was with a production company called Troma. They make these.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of them.
Do you know Troma?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same genre that we're talking about today, but it's certainly a niche for some people. But yeah, that just kind of lit a fire in me, and I was like, this is fun. So
I often joke that you swap out the score in a lot of these Hallmark movies and they could be a horror movie.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, none of that kind of gentle bell music and just a darker mood, and suddenly, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the whole on How I Met Your Mother, they talked about the Dobler versus Dahmer effect. And yeah, so like in Dobler, say anything, got the, boombox over the head, whatever. And because you like that character, it's endearing and sweet, right? But if you didn't like that character, all of a sudden it becomes the exact same gesture becomes super creepy and weird.
Incredibly stalker-like. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
someone outside my window?
Yeah.
Trying to get a hold of me? That's not good.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's really a thing.
Yeah.
So that was your first role that you ever got on camera then?
Yeah, I had done some shorts with these guys. They're called Astron 6, and they're fairly popular kind of like indie Canadian filmmakers. Yeah, cult filmmakers. So I had made probably about 7 short films with them, and then we did this feature. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was some real pig guts. Like we're talking real indie horror movie stuff. Nice. So
what did your family think about you being in movies and stuff? Were they what was their reaction?
Well, my family has always been incredibly supportive. They're very like, yeah, whatever makes you happy, go for it. These particular films, right. I think my mom was like, oh, because the content was such that maybe she couldn't share it with her friends.
Right. Yeah, well, that's good that you started doing the Hallmark.
Yeah, that's right. Now my mom is very, very, very pleased. Very pleased. Yeah.
Well, you've done a bunch of these rom-coms for Hallmark and others. And so what is it like being a part of an ensemble for one of these kind of films? Part of the team?
it's a bit of a trope to say, but like it really is a bit of a pinch me, like, how is this my job? It's just like
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Uh-huh.
I haven't worked on a single Hallmark movie that wasn't like very fun. The people that are involved with these projects are just like they got the same energy, they got a good energy, but
Hmm.
it would depend specifically on which one, like what to say, but
Yeah.
like they take 3 weeks to shoot. I'm sure you know that, Rachel. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a little bit of prep, and then so you're just together like a family for 3 weeks. Sometimes you're on location, so you have even more of kind of a camp vibe with
Hmm.
people.
I've heard that from a
Um,
lot of people. Say it's kind of
yeah,
like summer camp for adults.
it is exactly like that,
Yeah.
and it's very fortunate that you get to play make believe with
Hmm.
really funny people. Um, it's kind of unbelievable, to be honest. It's awesome.
Do you ever get Christmased out, like doing Christmas movies kind of all year long? Do you ever get sick of Christmas?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
good.
know what to say. I'm the perfect person for this genre because I actually really love Christmas. I have always loved Christmas. I'm a Christmas baby. I'm born on December 21st, so
Oh, that's cute.
yeah. So and I think some people they're like, "Oh, that must be such a terrible birthday, like no
Uh-huh.
gifts," and I'm like, "It's the best. Everyone's in a great mood. There's
Yeah, as long
parties."
did your parents try to do combined presents? Combined Christmas. That's where I think people think, oh, that would be the drawback, is you
Right.
the
Especially as a kid when you're kind
yeah.
of presence driven, like as
Yeah.
an adult, I don't care, obviously. But yeah, as a kid, my parents did definitely try to do like it's your
That's
birthday
good.
party, it's your birthday
Right.
present, and which was nice. But
I
certainly now
my
as an adult, no, I don't get
my
any.
birthday is on January 23rd, so I'm still within that, 30-day window.
Yep.
And I didn't feel it too bad, but the thing I really hated is I hated like the party options that were
Mm.
available to me because I'm not like a really a winter sports person. And I love to swim. And so I was always so jealous of all of my friends that got to have summer pool parties.
Yeah, you wanted a beach party.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
But I I had to go like a skating party, which was not for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
same. It was like bowling, movie theater, or like
Yeah.
crafts at home.
It's like bad planning, mom and dad.
Yeah,
You didn't.
exactly. Come on, get it together,
Yeah.
guys. I want a June birthday.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. It must be amazing to see these like Christmas wonderlands come to life before your eyes. I've never talked to anybody in production. I want to. I've talked to producers, but not anybody in the actual like who puts up these scenes. And because it just seems incredible to me that like all of a sudden all those lights and
It is.
decor and
It's
everything.
especially unbelievable in the middle of summer when you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's
Yeah.
nothing here. I will say it does get a little bit gross quickly because the flakes are often I think it's potato
Oh, yeah.
starch,
Right.
which is no problem, but when it gets wet or stomped on or like the beautiful snow, after getting walked on from all the cast and the crew and everything, like things can get a little bogey. So you definitely have to have production team ready to kind of finesse and fluff and make sure the Christmas scene remains
intact.
But
they've gotten a little bit, I mean, I get it. It's tough to wear those coats and scarves and stuff in the middle of the summer. But lately, I've been feeling like they've gotten a little bit lazy with their winter wear. You see people that are supposedly in Alaska and they've got like a light, got a light jacket, if that, in the middle of winter. Oh, it's all open. It's never closed. We're like, come on. I know it's tough, but
yeah, I know you're hot, but zip your jacket up. Exactly.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. The last one I filmed was definitely it was cold. So that's always nice.
Good.
You don't have to be super, sweaty, but
yeah,
it's good to commit to the bit. It is supposed to be Christmas. So let's do that.
Well, what do you think makes these Hallmark Christmas movies so popular? What do you think's the special, what do you think sets them apart?
It's a good question. It's funny. I think a lot of the other networks are trying to do Hallmark Christmas movies now, which is interesting because they're stealing the kind of the concept, but I still think Hallmark just does it so much better. And the reason for that is partly cast. I think that the people who make them are just really good. I think that they just have I think they have like a love for it. I think that the most important thing about the Christmas movies that I think people sometimes forget, and not just Christmas, any of the Hallmark movies, is it's not a Hallmark movie. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
You're just making a really good movie with interesting characters involved in interesting situations. And, I think the simplicity of them can be misunderstood as, kind of like the same or tropey. But what makes a Hallmark movie really good, and when the ones really stand out, it's because, people are taking it seriously and they're really in that world, and that's what draws the audience in. So I think it's like what makes any movie really good is what makes a Hallmark movie really good. But it's the commitment to the bit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really true, because I was talking with somebody just yesterday about the fact that cinema is a particularly interesting kind of art because it's inherently commercial as opposed to other kinds of art, which don't have that same burden, of needing to appeal to people. All you need for painting is to have one person buy that painting, and that's it, or that kind of thing. And so but I think that's what makes it really fascinating. And I don't think that a Hallmark movie is any less cinematic because it is very commercial.
Sure.
It is made to please a particular group of people, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, just like any genre. That's right. But every movie is made to sell tickets,
Yeah. To sell tickets and to appeal to an audience, even, and
to make people happy.
Yeah. Or to make people scared, or whatever the genre is.
But emotion. In the
case of, to draw something out of you. And like a Hallmark movie is absolutely no different. It's just the ones that work are because, well, sometimes it's just a little magic. You don't know why, but you've been watching enough of them to know.
But I think the biggest thing comes down to the script.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. And then chemistry, which is probably the most frustrating on the part of the movie makers, because it's totally ephemeral. On paper, I'm sure there's been couples that they thought, oh, this is going to be a great match, and then they just don't have it, and that's got to be very frustrating. But
there's no way to know until you get there and you meet. You just don't know.
But yeah, that script and the banter, I mean, that's the biggest, I think, determining factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, there's so many amazing writers at Hallmark, and I feel like the scripts are just getting more interesting and better, and going to new places that maybe we didn't expect Hallmark to go, which is so much fun.
Yeah. Well, speaking of great scripts, was the Santa Summit that Russell Hainline, he crushed it in that script. He immediately cemented himself as one of the all-timers.
I mean, he's legendary. Like,
yeah. I mean, for his second, I mean, I liked his first script quite a bit. It was very good for Hallmark. But then this was, like I said, he's one of the greats.
he's one of the greats, and he's just burst out of the woodwork,
Yeah.
like completely carefree. But that's the thing. I feel like he doesn't hold himself back. He just
Yeah.
really goes for the jugular,
Mhm.
that's a bit of a nasty way to put it, but
Well,
pardon
it was
my
such a
French.
hard thing what he had to do there because he had to make this relationship pop at the beginning in only a couple sentences between the two to make it last and feel like believable through the entire thing, and then they finally get together at the end and it feels satisfying. I mean, that's tough. That's very hard.
Yeah, it's a miracle he pulled that off.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
really is.
and like I know the cast, like Hunter and Ben were really concerned. Like, and Jeff too, the director, was very concerned about like making sure that that worked so that the
Yeah.
audience was invested in those characters and wanted to see them come together at the end. So, it's a team sport, but Russell, like that scene was really long and it was really detailed. And there's so much, they are in scenes together too. He was very clever, honestly.
Yeah, because
Very
even when they were
clever.
apart, you're building their characters and why they are so suited for each other. So it felt like they were together, even though they really weren't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also thought the gingerbread house moment was very,
Mm-hmm.
very sweet. I think that was a big popular moment with the audience because he just like saw her. He got her so
Yeah.
much. And so, yeah. But that takes a good writer to think of things
Yeah.
like that, and it's also very brave because if it
Yeah.
doesn't work, you know.
I was really surprised that Hallmark allowed the movie. I mean, there was definitely a point where they
Yeah.
would never have allowed like characters to be like drinking hard liquor or, you know,
We never
being a part of
mention
this.
liquor. We're going from place to place, but it's like we never mention anything, but it's kind of
Mm.
alluded to, right? But yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it just I don't know, just the whole like tone and feel, and it being a younger story, for the most part, it just a lot of things that like circa 2016, 2017, there's no way you would have had the Santa Summit on Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, it's a new network. I mean, they're
Yeah,
really going for stories that are pushing these boundaries. And I mean, in my opinion, it's very welcome
yeah,
because they're so fun.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
surprising. It makes it fun. I
Yeah.
mean, and so I forget what's your character's name?
Ava.
Ava.
Yeah.
So with Ava, did you connect with that whole like nerdy side of her? Do you feel like you are a little bit of a nerd?
I'm a total nerd. I'm not a math nerd
Yeah.
because that's never been my strong suit. So
Uh-huh.
that part, no. But I'm a massive nerd. I'm obsessed with cats, firstly. Go cats. I'm a huge knitter.
Oh,
So
nice.
I don't think Ava knits, but not that knitting's
Oh,
nerdy. I'm just saying I have
yeah.
like all my little weirdsies and my little crafts, and like I like things just so. I very much connected with Ava. I think one of the things that was so great about her is just that she isn't embarrassed by who she is or what she likes or what makes her feel joy and tick. And so she's very confident for a nerd, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I think she's a
Yeah.
cool nerd. Like,
Yeah, she
yeah,
is. Yeah, I
yeah.
loved that. I love that. And so when you and Adam like working together to build this chemistry, it just was so good and such a great moment. And so what was that like for the two of you to kind of work on
Well,
that?
I also have to give you a little context because I've known Adam since I was like 18.
Oh yeah.
So we go way back, and he's been a friend of mine for so long. And this is also not our first on-screen romance. I can't
Oh,
remember which movies, but
we love
there's
Adam ever since Snowman's.
uh,
Have you ever
I've
seen
actually never seen
Snowman's?
Snowman's. I got to watch that one.
It's so good.
Is
I
it?
love Snowman's. It was Ashley Newbrow
Oh, I know
and
Ashley
Jesse,
Newbrough.
yeah,
She's wonderful.
yes, and
Yes.
Jesse Hutch plays a snowman come to life,
Yep.
and And Adam is the best friend who's in love with her, standing by watching this crazy man.
Oh my gosh.
Really
Fall
fun.
in love with a snowman.
Yeah. And it's like he's so hot all the time because he's a snowman. And he's like, it's
wait, this is Jesse Hutch who's hot?
Jesse Hutch, yeah.
Is he like taking his shirt off?
Yes, he's taking his shirt off in the middle of the snow, and he's like, I'm so hot.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's really funny. And for some reason they decided that the snowman was Scandinavian. And so he he gets all this like Luke Fisk and like pickled herring and stuff like that. And they're all like, what?
I gotta watch that movie. I don't know.
It's really yeah, you should. I think it's on like Tubi or those free apps.
Yeah, Tubi's good actually. They have some
it is
fun
good
movies on there.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, Adam is awesome. He's absolutely a Hallmark legend. He's been he's done so many. I don't know how many, but yeah, Adam and I have a very strong rapport just because we've been friends for I don't want to talk about how old I am, but like quite a long time.
Yeah.
And
that's good. That's probably why it read on the screen.
Maybe, yeah. But he also is just that scene, like that end scene where we profess our love in the silent disco. I mean, again, back to Russell, like to have a setting like that, this one of these movie moments where you turn around and the crowds part, and it's one of these dream romance moments that is very filled with tropes, but just it's so much fun to do. And if it works out, if all the stars align to make that scene really what you envision it to be, I mean, it's hard to get more romantic than that.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad it played because on the page, it was just like, devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Devastating.
Would you say you are a Tolkien fan? Are you,
I absolutely am.
Yeah. All right, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched all the Lord of the Rings like many times. Look, I'm not a super fan, but I'm a fan.
Right. Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny and charming and just great. It was just great.
I also love that they took, we all both stripped down. We had been wearing more costumes the whole time, and you saw some of his costumes, and he had these little suspenders on, which I thought were so cute. And I was in my little unitard outfit thing. It was very sweet.
Yeah. When you have to do a kiss or an intimate scene in a movie, like is that intimidating at all or a little bit nerve-wracking?
I've been smooching boys on camera for enough years now that it really isn't nerve-wracking. But I think at first it was. I've definitely kissed people before who had just had a cigarette or something. So that's always a little off-putting, but no, it's
at least get the breath mint.
Right. No, but no, Adam's great. But most people are. I mean, it's just funny and fun. You're adults playing pretend where you get to kiss. It's kind of invigorating. It's just like you feel like a kid, Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm married, most people are in relationships,
right?
It's just a little escapism, right?
It's a part of getting into character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're really in the character, then it's not weird at all because you can't wait to kiss this person.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
You're in love with them, right? So yeah.
Well, so you were also in The Miracle in Bethlehem. What was your role in that one?
I was Ben Ayre's sister, pregnant sister.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That was better than I have to admit. When I saw the promo, I was like, oh, no room left in the inn. It just sounded like pretty not great. But then it was actually really sweet.
Yeah, I think that we all were like, okay, it's a script that's pretty on the nose, and so we didn't know how it would kind of play out, but it was such a great cast, and it was Jeff again directing it. Jeff Beasley,
man's a legend,
who's really, really a great director, and so I think we all just were very committed to finding the fun and the playfulness with it. And Laura is such a depth. She has such a warmth to her and kind of gravitas that I think it played really nicely. That one did surprise me too. I thought it turned out really, really nicely. Yeah.
Well, we have your upcoming movie, "'Twas the Day Before Christmas." So exciting. You must have just been over the moon getting your first lead in one of these.
Yeah, I like it's hard to even explain. I'm just beyond thrilled, and I'm so grateful to Hallmark and to all the fans who've been kind of rooting for me on the sidelines. It means the world to me. I just literally wouldn't be here without this support. So I'm very grateful, and I hope I didn't let anyone down. I think it's a really, really great movie, and I hope that the audience loves it because I
Yeah.
actually love it. I think
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. All right. So 'twas the date before Christmas. So my character Jessie is looking for love, but she's meeting just a bunch of duds. And so when her mom threatens to cancel Christmas, Jessie kind of panics and tells her mom that she's bringing someone. But Jessie does not have a boyfriend. And so, in order to fill this void of boyfriend she doesn't have, she puts on her dating profile that she wants to find someone to come to her family Christmas as their first date. And so that's where Rob Buckley, a character named Brian, comes in, and he takes the bait and he agrees to join me for my insane family Christmas.
Yeah.
And so over the course of a day, we're doing all of these insane, like, Olympic activities. And we both have quite a few secrets that we're not sharing with each other. And we're also realizing that maybe there's a lot more to the connection than we had kind of thought.
Ah,
That's kind of the premise without giving anything away.
So did you like audition for this role, or did they just come to you?
I didn't. They offered me the role. Yeah.
Even more exciting.
Yeah. I'm just so grateful. So I hope it's, the first of many, but yeah.
And to be the first of the whole countdown. That's incredible.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I'm hoping that's a good spot and that people aren't too cheesed it's before Halloween. But
well, there's I think there's a movie that's actually on Halloween. Pretty sure.
Funny. Is it a Christmas movie? Yeah, of course it
is. Oh,
is.
Yeah. I can't remember if it's on Movies Mystery or on Countdown. I feel like on one of there's actually a Christmas movie on Halloween this year.
Does Halloween fall on a Saturday, maybe?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's very flattering and shows a lot of confidence there leading off the season.
I mean, it does. I admit, when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, okay, that's a lot." Yeah. But I feel like I'm hoping that bodes really well for the way Hallmark feels about the film, and hopes that the audience will feel about the film. I will say I have seen it, and I really liked it. I really liked it. I'm very excited for October 18th. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so thrilled.
Yeah, we're thrilled.
I'm thrilled.
Well, so working with Robert, that must have been fun. He knows these movies inside and out.
Robert Buckley is such a gem. We instantly hit it off. Like the chemistry thing we were speaking of earlier, you never know, but he and I very quickly realized we were like very similar in many ways. We were having a lot of twinning moments.
Oh, nice.
But we both love Food Network.
Oh.
And so we watched a lot of Beat Bobby Flay, some Guy Fieri, Tournament of Champions. Yeah, he's just like, he's a hoot. He's ridiculous. He's a ridiculous, delightful man. And I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed any time I've gotten to talk with him. So fun. And I mean, how did you sort of build that chemistry? I mean, I guess it just sounds like you just had a lot in common.
Well, honestly, it's sometimes you get lucky, and this time I feel like we just didn't have to work for it that hard. We were kind of like insta best friends, There's just occasionally you just hit the jackpot, and Rob and I were like, "Oh, this is easy."
Yeah, what did they call?
Easy.
Do you remember what they call the dating app in the movie?
No, do you know?
No, I was just curious because sometimes they come up with really ridiculous names.
I feel like they might not have. Now I'm not remembering. I'm feel like they might not have even ever named it. They're just kind of like, the dating app.
Right.
It might have been a bit generic in that way.
Probably for the best. But so there's like dating Olympics, is that right?
There's no dating
Christmas Olympics.
The Olympics is at the family Christmas. So it's kind of an ensemble film in a way, because a lot of the movie takes place at my family Christmas, which is this massive house in the country.
Yeah.
And so it's, you got the crazy aunt, you got my stepdad and my mom and my niece and nephew and my grumpy brother and like my sister-in-law. So there's this whole gaggle of very strong characters. And my aunt, who's played by Mimi Kuzik, who's hysterical. I don't know if you know her, but she's very funny. And she has this like ledger board and all of these games. And so the whole film, we kind of like circle through all of these activities, and it's utter madness.
Yeah.
I don't know where they came up with it, but it's really
Yeah. That could be a lot of fun. Trying to like cookie decorating.
There's a bake-off. Yeah.
Bake-off. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. There's a bake-off. There's gift wrapping. There's snowball fight. There's like a romantic walk in the woods, which doesn't really have the ability to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's that competitive?
It's not, but it is very sweet. It's a very sweet scene. Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Well, we like to end our interviews with some get to know you questions, and we have the holiday version since you're in a holiday film. The first question is, what's your favorite holiday drink?
I'm a sucker for an eggnog. I like one or two good eggnogs a year, but you have too many and then you wish you hadn't.
I get that. Okay, what's your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
I love butter tarts.
Ooh.
A classic butter tart, just so bad for you and so delicious.
That sounds really good. Okay, what is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
The Mariah Carey "All I Want for Christmas" is an absolute classic.
She's the queen.
I mean, she's an icon.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't go wrong.
She literally starts Christmas.
She does. She does. I also really love the Sufjan Stevens, am I saying his name right, album. He's got a little Christmas album from years and years ago, and I've always had it on like a little burnt CD. And it's just it brings me back. I love it.
That sounds really good. All right. What is your favorite classic Christmas movie?
I mean, Home Alone.
Yeah. You wouldn't, that is like, I'm not kidding. That is by far the most popular answer. By far.
Well,
which is just so interesting because it's one of my favorites. And so I
think Home Alone and Elf are a bit of a tie for me. Because, hold on a minute. What am I thinking? No, The Holiday, which is the Nancy Meyers movie. With Kate Winslet and freaking Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and Jude Law. I mean, I watch that one every single year, sometimes in the middle of summer as well. I can't get enough.
Yeah. Do you know that the cottage was completely a set? Like it's not. That was shocking to me.
But I picture it there. I want it to be there in the countryside. Oh
Because it
no.
looks so, I mean, they're made, what people do. These movie sets are incredible.
You know,
All right.
oh, sorry.
Which do you like better, Scrooge or the Grinch?
Um, the Grinch.
Okay, good. Because they're both like characters who hate Christmas who come around by the end, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like his hat though. I like Scrooge's his little sleeping cap. I like that a
Oh
lot.
yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Which do you like better, clear lights or colored?
I'm a colored gal.
Good.
I like it like that.
Okay. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Let's go for snowball fight.
Yeah, see. So you got that competitive spirit.
Yeah, I'm hoping the snow isn't too hard though, because you can get into some dangerous territory pretty quick.
Well, and it has to have a lot of snow to build a snowman. It has to be thick.
You do.
Yeah,
you need
you really do.
The perfect consistency of snow.
Yeah, that's true too. It can't be icy or very true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like to do I always use recycled paper. I'm a real hippie like that. So there's a real medley of like strange materials that I have around the house, like old strings and things. But I really enjoy wrapping presents, and watching people slowly unwrap them is like part of the fun, I think.
Yeah, definitely. All right, last question. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I have a lot of ugly sweaters, but I don't think I have an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
I've certainly worn some in movies.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get one. Being up there in Canada, you're gonna be freezing.
I actually wore one in Miracle in Bethlehem when I was pregnant in the movie, and I had a Rudolph nose right on the tip of my big belly, and it was completely ridiculous, but I did not take it home.
Oh, see?
Yeah, I should have.
Well, very good. You did it. You answered all the questions.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming to talk with us. We're so excited about the movie, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Hopefully I feel so honored to be here. Very grateful.
The first of many leads.
Exactly. Thank you.
So do you have social media that you want to share or anything like that?
I do. Sure. Yeah. People can find me on Instagram at amy.groening. That's Groening. And yeah, I'm most active on there. So yeah, hit me up.
Very good. We'd like to thank Amy for coming on the podcast. This was so much fun to get to talk with her. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And let us know what you think about all the things we talked about in the comment section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews, 5 stars. It really, really helps us a lot. And if you are on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Most of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers. So if you're in that camp, please subscribe. It really, really helps us a lot. And we also have the Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support what we're doing, and you get tons of cool perks. So check that out. And also we have our merch store, which we are going to have some new festive holiday themed designs. So check that out. And thanks so much again to Amy. We'll talk to y'all later. Merry Christmas. Bye.